Good afternoon. Does anybody else drink their coffee with the spoon in it? I drink it and I just hold the spoon and I'm just like, here we go. Also, did you hear when it clinked against my teeth for that joke? It wasn't even a joke. Man. Do you hear that? Ugh, it's so annoying and it clicks non-stop all the time. There's no way to fix it because also my family's one of those families. It's like, what do you mean? It's just a noise. It's fine. We're not paying money. Nothing's wrong. It's not broken. And I'm like, it's not broken, but it's making a noise all day long. It just goes tick, 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 tick. And I'm like, ooh, that's really annoying. We're making banana bread. We're making banana bread today. They're really old. They're really old. This one's moldy. It is now nighttime. I did film that earlier, probably at like 11 a.m. And now it's about to be 11 p.m. That's just kind of the person I am. But let me show you something. That's right. Oh, you're so cute. Look, you have scary eyes, Panther. Oh. Oh my god, Panther, we're getting blown out. Panther. Alright, Panther, what are you doing in here? It's not food safe at all. It's not food safe at all, Panther. What are you doing in here, bro? Bro, what are you doing here? Right now, here's what we're looking at. We got all of this. We got this, and this, and this, and butter, and baking soda. We got 2 eggs over here. We got the flour, sugar, the cutest measuring cups in the world. Oh my god, even the holes are hearts. If you know about these, then you know that there was a run on these. People were going off for these. People were losing their minds, and so was I. Here are my nasty bananas. I'm very surprised that this Taco Bell bag does not have juice all over it from them leaking. That's how gross they are. RN. I preheated the oven too, 350 by the way. Ooh. If anybody's into this, go to jail. Hold on, I get that for you. This is gross. Do you want me to do that for the other 2? Or should I just do it? Now that I've done this, I'm going to tell you a little story about how I came to know this banana bread recipe. Everyone obviously started baking banana bread like crazy when the pandemic started. I was making this before that, so I guess I'm just a little bit better than everybody else, as per usual. I will put it in the description box for you, because I am just honestly like such a charitable, generous individual. I'll do that service for you guys. So this recipe, I found it online. It was just like a banana bread recipe, whatever. And then I found the comments for this recipe, and either that site has been up for a really long time, or that's the only banana bread recipe that is accessible on the net, because there were so many comments. Are there really this many people that like have accounts on this food recipe site? Or has this just been up for years? I have no idea, but I took a lot of inspiration from comments of people being like, well, I do this and I think it makes it taste better. I do this so it rises a little bit more. I put in a little more flour. I put in a little less this. And what I have now is, it's the best recipe. What makes my recipe different than others is the fact that it does not matter how many bananas you put in as long as you put in 3. I've put in about 5 bananas before. You can really push this to its limits. And it honestly doesn't change the texture, it just makes it more banana flavored. So if you're like out here with 6 overripe bananas and you're like, I'm just not gonna be able to make 2 batches, don't worry about it. You can make just 1 and it's gonna be amazing with my recipe. So you'll see that it literally says more than or equal to 1 cup of bananas. What I have right now that I'm like stirring is about 1.25 cups or 1.5 cups of bananas. But like I said, I've put in like a full 2 cups before and not changed anything else. I've also made double batches and that works fine too. Like if I actually genuinely have like an insane surplus of bananas, I'll make a double batch, and that's better because then everybody can have banana bread and they're like, Katie, you made banana bread. Do you think I could have some? And I'm like, yeah. Go ahead. It's good, okay? People are gonna love you if you make this. I don't add anything in it. Chocolate chips is very popular. I have added that before, but I do have heartburn. Like, all the time. I take a medication for it. I'm not taking that medication right now, which is why I have heartburn all the time. And the things that trigger heartburn are tomatoes, peppers, and chocolate. Those are my number 1 foods. But I was gonna say number 3 foods because there were 3 foods that I listed. So that's my number 3 foods that cause heartburn. Pizza, I'm gonna get some heartburn. Spaghetti and meatballs, I'm gonna get some heartburn. And then anything that has chocolate in it will give me heartburn. Chocolate flavored frozen yogurt does not give me heartburn. However, it does make me have diarrhea. So that is a different issue. But it's worth it. This is all to say, I will not be putting in chocolate chips. Okay, so like I said earlier, I am basically going with this recipe. It's from a basic recipe, and then I changed it based on the whims of others. Anything that somebody suggested, I would like incorporate it, and then the next time I make banana bread, I was like, was that a good choice? And if it was, I kept it in. Some people said to melt the butter, so I started doing that. Some people are like, leave it creamy. It's better if it's creamy. But it's really up to you, and I only melt it a little bit. Oh, it was that. Okay. A baking pan fell. It's fine. So I'm gonna do the 1/2 cup white butter. I'm looking at my own recipe. I used to know this. I was making it so frequently that I'd be like, oh yeah, 1/2 cup this, 1/2 cup that. It was crazy. Sadly, I'm not who I once was, so I can't do that. Okay, so 1/2 cup butter. In she goes. We don't want to lose an ounce. Big butter fan over here. Then we need to do 1 cup of white sugar. So let's use these things. They're very cute. I haven't used them yet because they've just been sitting over there, and I'm like really, really excited to do so. I don't know who taught you how to pour sugar, but apparently, you're supposed to take it and you're supposed to fill it in like this. Like, so that you're not supposed to top it off. I was told that that's like not the right way. I was gonna say an inappropriate way. It's very inappropriate of you to fill up your cup by digging around in the bag, which is what I'm going to do for the flour. Fully. I will be doing that. Oven's ready. Just pure white, huh? Okay, you can kind of see it's off-white. I don't know why I tried so hard to get that shot. In it goes, baby. That's a lot of sugar. 2 eggs. Okay, so I just mix it. I put my 2 eggs in, I put my cup of sugar, I put my half cup of butter, which by the way is just a stick of butter. A stick of butter? Oh, that's a half cup. Oh, a stick of butter? Oh yeah, that's 8 ounces. Usually says on the thing, but if you don't know, now you know. Okay, so this is the fun part. This is kind of where I'm just like, let's go to town. This is the flavor part. So we've got nutmeg, pure vanilla extract, and cinnamon. Sometimes I also do like ginger as well, but I'm not feeling that today. I'm feeling a spring vibe. So maybe not even nutmeg. It might just be a cinnamon moment. It's probably gonna be a nutmeg moment, but it might just be cinnamon. So here's the fun part. With these flavors, I kind of just like go for it, you know? Oh, it smells so good. Can I just have perfume of this? Ah, it smells so good. It says, big shake of cinnamon. I did write that. There's a spice that, I don't know, McCormick or whatever has, and it's called pumpkin pie seasoning, and that has nutmeg and like ginger and like something else in it, and I have been known to use that before. It smells good AF in there. Let me just put a little bit more of everything. Yeah, let me just use the rest of this, to be honest with you, because we got a full pure vanilla over here. This is why I feel fine with using as many bananas as you possibly can, because you're gonna fucking muddy it up with all this nonsense anyway. So you might as well be using as many bananas as you can to get as much banana flavor as you can. Just my 2 cents. I've done all that, so now it's time for like the baking stuff. This recipe would still taste, it'd be shitty, to be honest with you. It'd just be like a kind of bland, vaguely banana flavored bread if you didn't put all this stuff into it, but it would still be like a crappy banana bread if you didn't put any of that stuff into it. So now here comes like the baking stuff. So I'm doing a teaspoon of baking powder and a teaspoon of baking soda. So throw that in. It's literally so fine. It's like glistening. It looks like snow. Remember earlier how I said like only psychos measure it the actual way and all of us are just like scooping? Well, I'm pleased to tell you I'm not a psycho anymore. I'm out of the psych ward. There's just like bakers in the psych ward. It's like not actually like for depressed people. This is a 4th, by the way. So I've done a cup and now I've done a 4th. Now I'm gonna go in with another. People were like, oh, don't use 2 cups flour. Like, it gets too cakey if you do that. Okay, I won't. So now I do, instead of 2 cups, I do a cup and 3/4. Okay, now I have video evidence that I put in 3. So I'm not like, wait, oh my god, I accidentally put in 5/4. Do you guys get moths in your cabinet? We get moths in our cabinets. So, into a bag it goes. So here's the hard part. It starts to get like difficult to mix because you put in all this fucking flour and you're just like really like, it's like mixing cement. It starts to get all clumpy. So I'm just gonna live this life for a second. Okay, so this is what we're looking like now. I did it off camera because it's like a lot of arm work. It is so thick. It's cement. We're gonna add a half cup of sour cream and the bananas. I always add them last. It's always so funny because like I have this like brown dough mixture and then the bananas aren't in it until the very, very last part. I'm like, yes, my banana bread dough. And then like the bananas are over on the counter. I think the fastest I've ever made this was probably like in 20 minutes. But it usually takes me more than that because I like to take my time with it. And I'm like, you know, I'm just like, I'm just a little baker. I'm annoying and I take a long time to do everything. It usually takes me quite a minute here. If you remember, I started at 11. It's 12. Even if you weren't there, I'd still be talking the same amount. So I'd be talking to myself, I stay talking to myself, and I'm gonna add a half cup of sour cream. I started reading this, like, graphic novel, or it's like a comic, I guess. It's not a graphic novel. Not everything's a graphic novel, okay? It's a comic, and it's called Sakana, and it's about a family. It's like a family-run stall at the fish market. This is really in here. All right, surface tension, let's break, buddy. And it's really good, and it's like all about, like, it's a slice of life, and it was like, it's all about like the guys and their like problems and dating and stuff like that, and like being friends. It's really good. I recommend it. Sakana. I read a graphic novel in high school called Check Please. You've probably heard of it because now it's like published, it's a book, there's so many volumes of it. I really liked it a lot, and I literally almost went to a different college because of Check Please. It's all about hockey, and we toured a school that is like known for hockey and broomball, and I was like, maybe I should go here. Like, hockey, ooh, like I liked hockey before, but I was literally like, maybe I should go here and like, I'll be like a hockey person. I am slightly glad that I did not let like a webcomic influence my decision on where to go to school. But at the same time, I think it would have been cool. It would have been interesting. I will like go through like comics, like webcomics, or like somebody's fucking DeviantArt page, like way more than shows. Like, I will not stop reading until I'm done with it. And when I was little and I was like reading books, I don't do that anymore. I was reading books all the time, and you couldn't get me to stop. I'd read it at the dinner table and they'd be like, Katie, can't read at the dinner table. And then later they were like, now she's texting at the dinner table. We should let her read. I was like, yeah. I'd bring a book to a restaurant. They would let me read during appetizers, and then like when actual dinner, they'd be like, okay, now you have to put down your book. And I'd be like, even when I like picked up like a couple books like over the summer and like last summer or whatever, I read, what's the gay thing? The blue book? Hercules and his best gal pal. You know what I'm talking about, huh?
Song of Achilles?
It's Song of Achilles. Hercules and his gal pal. It's Song of Achilles. I literally finished it in like maybe 2 days because I was like, this is so good. I like kind of went off. I kind of read like a bunch of gay books. Red, White, and Royal Blue. I read that in 2 days, which is not like an accomplishment. I'm not saying like, look, I read this in 2 days. Like, I'm sure I could have read it in 1 day, as many of you may have been able to do, but I was like on vacation. I was like visiting family. My boyfriend just was like, yeah, you're really into gay media. Yeah. That's true. We're playing Ace Attorney right now. They're homosexual in that. Play the game. Play the game, bro. It's gay. It's gay AF. Okay, this is what we're looking like now. By the way, the book that I had read it's by the woman who made Fangirl, Rainbow Rowell, or whatever her name is. I don't know, she's under fire for things. People are like, why are you problematic? And she's like, I'm not. And people are like, that's not something you get to decide. She won't release the third Simon Snow, I think that's its name. I think it is. I think it's Simon Snow. She won't release the third and final book in paperback, but the other two that I have are in paperback, so I don't want to go buy a hardback book. So I'm just like, I've read the first 2 books, and I was really interested in it. And that's what I was going to say, is that it was really hard for me to control myself. I bought it on vacation. I had to take a flight home, and I was like, I really can't read all this right now because I really need something to do for 5 hours on a plane. But I was like, maybe just 20 pages. And then it would be like, okay, I read half the book. Okay, I'm putting this down now because I need to have something to do on the plane. I bought this for the plane. And I was really disappointed to see that there was no third book in paperback. Rainbow, get the fuck on it. I don't care if you're busy. Release the third Simon Snow book. in paperback. And maybe we'll stop calling you problematic, okay? I'll use my clearly, like, insane realm of influence, my, like, 2 million followers I have on here, and I will tell them, like, actually, Miss Rainbow is fine. She never did anything problematic, and you should definitely be super nice to her all the time. But only if you fucking release the book in paperback, Rainbow. Do we have a deal? LMK, DM me. DM me if we have a deal, okay? We are pretty much done here. Yeah, I have everything in that needs to be in. I'm actually gonna cook it in this. Unless I break it showing you. I think it's gonna be the cutest thing ever. I think that it might be too big, so I'm gonna put some in here, and then I have a backup situation. This final step, if you were going to cook this yourself, you would put your chocolate chips or your walnuts in it. Here's the thing. Fuck walnuts. Fuck walnuts. Fuck walnuts. And if you like walnuts, fuck you. Just kidding. You're fine, but don't put them in anything. Keep them to yourself. Fucking walnut liker. I hate walnuts. I don't like nuts in anything. They ruin it. They ruin the vibe. So if you were gonna be evil, this is your time to do it. You would put walnuts in. Or chocolate chips. I love chocolate chips. But that's more of like a holiday thing for me. I like to do that if it's gonna be like specifically a dessert bread. But I think that I might be eating this in the morning. So I'm actually not gonna put chocolate chips in it this time. I'll make Patrick do something for that. Okay, so I have this. I put sprinkles on one side. Walnuts, walnuts, ew. Okay, but those are gonna be for my dad, who loves walnuts and wishes that I would always put them in things. So when I do like a regular loaf of banana bread, like one that is a normal size, like think of a loaf of bread, I put it in for 55 minutes, I check it, and then it always needs to go back in for 5 more. I don't even know why I do it. It's because if your oven's kind of shitty, or if it's old, it might cook a little slow, or it might cook a little hot. Always check things 5 minutes before they're supposed to be done, especially if your oven is like, if you burn cookies regularly, your oven gets too hot. It's probably old. My oven's fine, so it does things nicely for me. So I'm gonna put these in, and because these are really small containers, I'm probably gonna check them at like 25. That's probably gonna cook for at least 45. I'm gonna do 25 for this, 45 for that, see where we are. Who knows? They both might need to take an hour as usual. I don't think that ceramic heart is gonna break. But if it does, I have the cupcake pan underneath it to hopefully grab everything so it doesn't just explode. We solved the case, everybody. Don't worry about it. We proved some innocence. We proved some guilt in court. And my banana bread is completely done. Here it is, everybody. I ate 2 of the muffins already, as you can see. And you know I had to have a glass of milk. So here's the heart bread. It's like weirdly tall. I knew it was gonna do that, but I really didn't fill it up that much. So it took forever, and this started to like burn, and this was still goopy. So I don't think that this is a good container to cook it in. I think it cooks pretty unevenly. So I wouldn't recommend it, but it was fun to try. I hope you guys really like it. There's Ace Attorney. Here's the plants. I hope that you guys had like a fun time, and I hope that you guys try this banana bread recipe. Please try it. It's really good. I'm not gonna tell you like try it and then comment, because you'll forget. But like, try it because it's really good, and you'll be happy that you made it. What am I gonna do? You're gonna be like, I made the banana bread. I'll be like, okay, was it great? And you're gonna be like, yeah. And I'm like, well, I knew that. You didn't need to tell me that. I know it was gonna be great, because it's great, and I make it all the time. I'm gonna say bye. And I'm gonna go solve some more cases. And you should too. Everybody play Ace Attorney and make banana bread. Okay, bye guys! So I'm actually not, have you ever noticed like sorority girls who are trying to be powerful, instead of saying like, You say an actually. I think that's because women are told not to be, like, powerful. So, are we gonna get housing for mandatory recruitment training? So, actually, you will be needing to find housing on your own. Why are dues increasing? So, actually, dues are increasing because, like, sorry, I'm triggered myself. As a former sorority gal. Let's go squirrels. We're the squirrels. Oh yes, I love those alpha gams. So deep, deep, so down, down. So deep, deep, so down, down in my heart. Woo! Oh yes, I love those alpha gams. So deep, deep, so down, down. So deep, deep, so down, down in my heart. Woo! We would sing that as people were exiting the house. And you're not allowed to dance because some girls were on dance, like, teams. And so it'd be really, like, unfair if your sorority happened to be one that a lot of dancers joined, because obviously you get put in, like, a dorm with a lot of people of your major usually, so dance majors would all be put in the same dorm together, and they'd be like, oh, I'm rushing, blah, 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 blah. Like, oh my god, me too, like, yeah, well, so-and-so's in it, she's a dancer, like, all the dance girls are in this sorority, like, it'd be sucky to have one sorority that is allowed to just do a full dance routine complete with acrobatics, and another sorority is like, we're mostly, like, business students, and we don't, like, I don't even own a pair of leggings, so yeah, you're not allowed to move your feet. You will literally get fined by Panhellenic, and they do checks. They come around and they watch your shit, and they do checks to make sure you're not moving your feet too much. You can't jump, so they're like, your feet must be firmly in place, but you can do hand stuff, you can bend, you can do this, but your feet have to be touching the ground, so yeah, I love those alpha gams, so deep, deep, so down, down. It was crazy, and you had to smile, and you had to scream it. You'd be like, yeah, I love those alpha gams, so deep, deep, so... It was a lot. It was a lot. And I, as a theater major, first of all, I'm in the back. Some of the, like, hand motions, I was like, whoa, it's too much for me, and I'm not putting effort into learning them. So I was in the back, but, like... shit was fucking crazy. Like, I would literally be screaming because these girls are so out of tune. These girls are fucking out of tune. Like crazy. So I'd be screaming in the back. You have to have a perfect smile on. Does anybody want a video about that? Like, what a regular person who was in a sorority, like, how they feel about sororities. I don't feel a certain type of way. I think there's pros and cons. I'm not like a, oh my god, sorority changed my life, it was amazing, it's perfect in every way. But I'm also not like a fuck sororities, only rich girls that buy their friends. I'm like, shut up. You can have fun in a sorority, but I'm not like, oh yeah, everybody should join a sorority. Let me know if you want a video on that, how I feel as like a normal individual who was in one and can see both sides. Thank you.